290 people. They're doing backflips. Oh gosh, you got Yahoo doing backflips, ESPN doing backflips, Fox doing backflips, Front Office Sports doing backflips. All of them said, you know what? We've ignored Unrivaled all season long. Finally, they give us something good to talk about. And they all just publish it. 21,000, record.
Media outlets were doing backflips as 21,000 people crammed into a Philadelphia arena. The same headline appears on Fox Sports, Yahoo, and ESPN. Attendance for Unrivaled broke all previous records. After being disregarded for weeks, the league finally had something to celebrate. However, none of those headlines addressed this. Nearly no one else in America cared to turn on their television, despite the fact that 21,000 people attended in person. Additionally, the recently released statistics show something far more troubling than anyone wants to acknowledge.
January 30th, Unrivaled takes over Philadelphia. Breeze vs. Phantom, 40,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 demographic. Rose vs. Lunar Owls, 40,000 viewers in the 18 to 49 demographic. Of all of the programs featured here, they are 146th and 160th in national rankings for television that night.
40,000 viewers. That is the figure for every game that Friday night in the crucial 18 to 49 age range. To put it in context, the two unbeatable games were ranked 46th and 160th in the country for television that night, not in sports programming. In television as a whole, the 21,000 attendance number suddenly makes perfect sense because those are the same individuals who would typically be watching at home. Moving to Philadelphia didn't increase their viewership. The same audience was just moved from their couches to seats in the arena. It was a unique spectacle. No one watched to find out what all the excitement was about.
Makes perfect sense now. Makes perfect sense now. You take a look at Unrivaled ratings. You take a look at year 2 for Unrivaled. Unrivaled, the golf league, taking viewership hit in second seasons. This is an article put out by Sports Media Watch. The two new leagues who generated headlines at the start of last year are off to slower starts in their sophomore campaigns. The women's 3v3 basketball league Unrivaled was averaging 103 viewers across TNT and True TV through week 3 of the season as of January 26th, down 44% from the first 3 weeks of last year's inaugural.
However, the Philadelphia tragedy is only one aspect of a larger issue. The results of Sports Media Watch's examination of Unrivaled's second season are disastrous. On average, 103,000 people watch the league on TNT and True TV, compared to last year's initial season, when they averaged between 90 and 105,000. That is a 44% decrease over the first 3 weeks. Consider that decrease. They lost over half of their audience in a single year. This league expanded to a 4th night of games, added 2 additional clubs, and spent a significant amount of money on product promotion. Caitlin Clark appeared on Good Morning America. They planned this Philadelphia incident that made headlines across the globe. And viewership fell by 44% in spite of all that work and money. When you consider the network split, the breakdown becomes even more severe. On average, 145,000 people watch games on TNT and True TV, but just 64,000 people watch games that are only available on True TV. And this is the issue. The 4th night of games this season, and all those other telecasts are genuine TV exclusives, according to Unrivaled. As a result, they extended their timetable, but no one attended the new material.
Did I read that correctly? Unrivaled was averaging 103,000 viewers across TNT and True TV. That's nasty work. That's crazy bad. That's true.
Unrivaled will now attribute their difficulties to football competition. The two most popular broadcasts this season were the January 5th opener and the January 26th window, both of which avoided football competition. It's also true that half of their shows up until January 26th aired against NFL or college football games. The problem is that there will be absolutely no football competition at the Philadelphia event on Friday, January 30th. They only attracted 40,000 viewers per game in the target demographic despite having a clear runway, extensive promotion, and record attendance that made headlines in sports media. When you have the ideal opportunity and no one watches, you can't blame football. You have to admit that the audience simply isn't present at some time. Unmatched games are not being sought after by people. Even when this stuff is widely accessible and aggressively advertised, they are not actively seeking it out.
Behind a paywall soon enough, folks. Soon enough, they're going to be behind a paywall, whether it's HBO Max, whether it's Paramount Plus, whether it's Netflix. We've talked about that. Whatever it is, their days on TV are numbered. Game simulcasts on both TNT and True TV are averaging 135,000, while
viewers at a startling rate. Furthermore, it's not a short-term setback when a league loses 44% of its viewership in a single year despite growth and additional promotion. That is a basic issue with the product. This begs the obvious question: how long before behind a paywall, Unrivaled vanishes? Because at 103,000 average viewers, these figures do not support the television space they occupy on TNT and True TV. They are not adding value to the network. They are occupying time slots that could be used for anything else.
Into some positive news, shall we? Let's get into something a little bit more positive. Sunday night basketball, milestone for NBA on NBC Sports. Lakers-Knicks, 4.5 million viewers on NBC plus Telemundo, 5 million peak audience. Most watched regular season Sunday night NBA game since 2002, excludes Christmas Day. Sunday night NBA games.
The contrast could not be more striking. Therefore, let's now discuss what real success looks like. Caitlin Clark recently joined NBC as an NBA commentator, and the network is already discussing growing her role while Unrivaled is failing. With a peak viewership of 5 million, Sunday night basketball on NBC attracted 4.5 million people for the Lakers and Knicks. With the exception of Christmas Day, that Sunday night NBA regular season game is the most watched since 2002. On average, 2.9 million people watched the Thunder Nuggets game that came next. When taken as a whole, Sunday night, 3.7 million people watched the basketball package on average. These aren't only impressive figures. These are outstanding figures that surpass the network's expectations and validate the significant expenditure NBC committed to reintroduce the NBA.
Since 2018, all Sunday windows. Most watched game of the season across all networks, excludes tip-off and Christmas Day. Thunder Nuggets offer average 2.9 million viewers, NBC plus Telemundo. Sunday night basketball, two-game average, 3.7 million viewers. Let's get into what the executives over there at NBC had to say. NBC Sports leadership weighs in. Rick Cordella spoke positively about Clark's debut, noting that she did a good job.
NBC Sports executive Rick Cordella discussed Clark's effectiveness as an analyst in public. He stated she performed well and was at ease in the role. Given the magnitude of the crowd and the attention that comes with a national NBA broadcast at Madison Square Garden, it was evident that she was well prepared and at ease in the situation by highlighting her grasp of the game and her ability to speak properly. However, this is more important than the praise. Clark has already been booked for another appearance by NBC on March 29th. She will begin working as an analyst for Knicks Thunder, and Cordella stated clearly that he hopes to see more of Clark in the future. That goes beyond simple compliments following a one-time appearance. That is a sincere desire to establish a connection.
Caitlin Clark nailed it, according to the executives, in her NBC speaking analyst role. Love to see it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like the video and subscribe to the channel, that would mean so much.
This is important for Clark and the larger discussion concerning women's basketball for the following reasons. NBC isn't merely using her on TV as a marketing gimmick or oddity. Because she offers genuine insight and reliable commentary, they are including her into their NBA coverage. As a professional basketball player with the deepest understanding of the game, She is adding perspective to their broadcasts. And that's important because it offers a way ahead independent of the WNBA's infrastructure and unparalleled failing league model. Beyond just playing, Clark is developing a multifaceted career. She is becoming recognized by major networks as a media figure with genuine value. She is viewed by NBC as someone who can enhance their coverage of the NBA, NFL, Olympics, and streaming platforms. That's a far more expansive platform than Unrivaled or the WNBA can provide. Consider the disparity that we are witnessing in real time. Unrivaled made significant investments to establish a new league, add teams, broaden their schedule, negotiate media contracts with TNT and True TV, and plan significant marketing campaigns. They followed all the guidelines for creating a sports franchise, yet after just 1 year, their average audience fell by 44% to 103,000. In the meanwhile, Caitlin Clark appears for one NBA broadcast, offers insightful commentary for a few hours, and NBC immediately begins discussing growing her role and having her return for other appearances. Instead of attempting to support a product that no one is looking at, she is bringing value to one that currently functions. This is a simple lesson. High-level basketball has a huge fan base. With millions of viewers each week, the NBA demonstrates this. Hearing from top players who have insider knowledge of the game is obviously of interest. Additionally, there is a clear desire for women to hold major positions in sports media when they are credible and have real competence. 3-on-3 basketball leagues that play in modest venues during the WNBA offseason seem to be something that people are not interested in. Unmatched in their ability to generate attention through marketing, promotion, and large-scale events. However, if the core product doesn't resonate with consumers, you can't promote your way into relevancy. You can learn everything you need to know about the ceiling for this scam from 40,000 spectators with no football competition and record attendance, making national headlines. The unmatched approach makes the assumption that WNBA fans will devour whatever is presented to them since they are in dire need of more basketball programming during the summer. However, the ratings disprove that idea. Unmatched and significant numbers of WNBA fans aren't attending. They don't consider it to be a must-watch basketball game. They don't even consider it to be background viewing. They simply aren't paying any attention. And that poses a serious threat to the league's future. Because what happens in year 3 if you are unable to sustain your audience in year 2? When the novelty wears off and you're just another niche sports property with an average of 60,000 viewers on True TV, what happens? When does economics cease to make sense? Television networks don't continue to broadcast content for charitable purposes. They require content that connects viewers with marketers. Unrivaled isn't performing well with 103,000 viewers. They are taking up important time slots and making very little money. They are only staying on TNT and True TV because Warner Bros. Discovery committed to them for a number of years before observing how the ratings would change. However, their agreements are short-lived. Unrivaled will most likely find itself behind a paywall on HBO Max, Paramount Plus, or another streaming service within the next 2 years. They will portray it as a calculated attempt to establish a direct connection with supporters. However, the truth is that they will no longer be able to defend broadcast television real estate. Additionally, viewership will decline even more once they are behind a paywall since casual viewers who might happen across a game while channel surfing won't be able to find them at all. Contrast that trajectory with what Caitlin Clark is constructing. On big network television, she is being seen by millions of people. She works with well-known properties with a track record of success. She is building relationships and abilities that will benefit her for decades after her playing career is over. And she's doing it without relying on the WNBA's music business model or the capacity of some new league to draw viewers. That's the clever move. Develop your brand on already effective platforms. Give products that already have consumers more value. Make possibilities that don't require you to persuade millions of people to care about something they have consistently shown they don't care about. So, this is a worthwhile question. Was Unrivaled truly successful at that Philadelphia event? Or was it merely a costly diversion? Their attendance made headlines. For a few hours, they had their players on national television. They gave the impression of momentum and popularity, but they failed to translate any of that into television ratings. They did not increase the size of their audience. They failed to show that their product has room to grow. They recently demonstrated that, with enough marketing money, they can fill an arena once in a big market. Furthermore, that company model is unsustainable. NBC promptly began organizing Caitlin Clark's next appearance when she arrived and performed admirably. Just reliable analysis that enhanced an already existing product, no gimmicks or created spectacle. Because of this, she is creating something sustainable, whereas Unrivaled is witnessing the decline of their audience. The discourse surrounding women's basketball must change beyond presuming that any new league or piece of content would inevitably attract a fan base. That premise is refuted by Unrivaled's 44% reduction in viewership, not only a product that sounds wonderful in press releases, but one that people genuinely want to watch is what you need. And the NBA is currently the product that people want to see. It's not 3-on-3 basketball in front of 64,000 people on True TV, with Caitlin Clark offering commentary. What works and what doesn't is made abundantly evident by the market.